right, people, here we are. Day 5. Hey, we're going to Let's Go Jared. Remember him? He's the plumber turned into the judo master. Okay, so we're cheering him on to the Olympics. We're cheering him on. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Cheering him right on to the Olympics right there. Okay, got some good mugs. Just want to show our support for somebody who's trying to elevate their life. You know, that's a tough journey. We want to support him. All right. We're going to get into it quick today, people, because we got a lot to cover, so we got to go pretty fast, okay? So first of all, how are you doing today? You doing okay? Check in with yourself. How are you doing? Is your locus of control strong? You feel good? You got that stoked fire? Is your fire stoked? If not, stoke that fire. Get excited about something. Pick yourself something up and look at it and lose yourself in it for a minute and let that excitement refill you, okay? Did you put something on your wall? Did you dig out a poster and put something on your wall? Or did you take off dumb stuff off your wall and get rid of it and make way for something else? That's what we're talking about. Renew your life through the environment, through what you see, through what you're excited about. Everything should be geared to generating genuine desire on your part. Genuine desire. That's the life-changing force. Bar none, that's it right there. Let's get her done. Okay? Next question. Are you beating yourself up about anything? If you are, that critical eye, man, he's out there running wild. Running ripshod all over your ass. Okay? So get your billy club out. Bop them in the head and put them back in the hole. All right? It's okay. It's okay to keep them locked in the basement. That's what a basement's for, to keep the critical eye locked in that basement. So come on, let's get that back in there, okay? Now, next question. How's that schedule? You got your schedule aligned? Does it need any adjustment? If you find yourself unable to do your schedule, you have to scale it back, okay? That means there's other things going on in your life that's making it hard. That don't mean beat yourself up, because that's when the critical eye jumps out that hole and kind of comes at you. So put them back in the hole, reduce your schedule so that you can accomplish your schedule and you feel good about yourself. Hell, man, sometimes it's only 15 minutes a day. Sometimes it's all you can do. Sometimes it's 15 minutes every other day. Sometimes that's all you can do. But you keep doing it, and you get past that choke point in your life until your life opens back up and you can then do more. Okay? Just stay alive. Keep going. Don't fall into that pit with that critical eye. Keep him in there, but you don't go in there. All right? Now, tomorrow's Sunday Fun Day, people. We all know what that means. I want you to break the rules. I want you to do something fresh and put it in your sketchbook, okay? I want you to go out there and have a new experience. You've been driving by some restaurant that you've been thinking about and you just haven't gone there, or maybe there's a new croissant place or donut place that you just haven't gone to. Well, get over there and get some of that, okay? Is there a new bar that opened up that you just hadn't, it looked great, but you hadn't want to go there? Go! New appetizer on there that you never thought about trying. Well, today's the day. Sunday Fun Day is the day to try that appetizer, okay? Try it out. And then scribble something in your sketchbook. It could even just be a couple sentences. Hey, man, I had that jalapeno crab popper at the new bar, and it was good. Or, hey, I tell you what, I got that flaming margarita with the mango topper, and you know, it just was terrible. Don't want to do that again. Put that in there. You'll start to see that what you're doing is you're pumping new experiences into your life. That's what you want to do. You want to pump those new experiences in your life, rejuvenate that excitement that you had as a child, and push it forward in your life as an adult. That's what we're here all about. All right, moving right along. I wanted to talk today about color theory. Now, everybody's been asking color theory, color theory, color theory. And I remember that when I was first learning about colors, that was a big thing for me too. They got all them little charts and all them, you know, with the stars and the complements and the tertiary colors and the secondary colors and all that. And I gotta get me these charts. I gotta get me this, and I gotta do the math and calculate, you know, across from blue is red and across from green is orange, and split complementary and adjacent complementary colors and all of these little color harmonies that they call them. And man, it was a little overwhelming for me. I tell you that, I feel like I just got out of a calculus class or something, and I'm sitting there going, "Holy! I just wanted to do art. I didn't. Oh, well, how did I end up here with all this paper and math and whew, it was just over my head at the time." So I was asking my teacher about it. He's a Taiwanese guy. He doesn't speak a lot of English, and he just laughed at me. He said, "No, no, no. You got to simplify it. You got to make it intuitive. And the best teacher to do that is nature. Bar none, study nature." And that's what he said. I was like, okay. So then I was like, I took that little tidbit and I went back to my canvas and I put down the same crap that I always did. And I was so mad at myself. I was like, this is garbage. I look over at his paintings and I'm like, there's life there. And I look back at my painting and I'm like, ah. And then so he'd walk by, and he'd look down and he's like, oh, good, you're doing better. I'm like, what? Doing better? This looks like crap. What do you mean doing better? I can't see any better on here. He said, no, keep going. Frustration is part of the journey. Like, oh, didn't count on that, right? Didn't like it. And so then I came to understand there's two types of knowledge, right? There's this theoretical knowledge up in your mind where you can go, oh yeah, color theory. We got the orange is over here and the opposite of orange is green. Oh, dang, I get that. But then you got the intuitive theory, right? The intuitive theory is where you feel, you see, you're sensitive, and you make the right choices based upon how you feel. And when I say feel, the feelings, when they are aligned properly, are the highways of information processing. Think about that. That's why feelings are so important. That's why every time I say energy or whatever, all that woo-woo stuff, I'm talking about your emotions, okay? When I say, oh, you got to have good energy, you got to get your energy right, you want to be energetic, blah, blah, blah. Those are your emotions. The reasons why emotions are so important is because, it's kind of like your brain up here is a single processor, and he's like a little hamster wheel, and, you think you're smart, and he's just like running as fast as he can, and he's just processing one line of information. That's it, just one line. That's all you can process. I know people say, oh, he's a multitasker, she's a multitasker. No, not true. Not true at all. Nobody can multitask, okay? Not in their mind anyway. You can multitask intuitively with your emotions. Think about that. That's your other mind, your emotional mind. You can multitask with that mind, okay? And that's what we're trying to tap into. Everybody's got one. It's just most people let their emotional mind just run undisciplined and wild with no impulse control, and it destroys their life. Every once in a while, it works for them. And they're like, wow, where'd that come from? Little spark of genius. But we want to make that work for us. I mean, you've heard of when athletes say, hey, I'm in the zone. That's what they're talking about. They're tapped in to their emotional mind. They're using their intuition to channel something deeper. Okay? That's what your emotions are for. It's kind of like about computers. A computer has a processor, right? It can only do one task at one time. I know you might think a computer can do all this stuff, but it's always only doing one task at one time. What it does is it pauses the other tasks and then comes back to them. And it does it so fast in milliseconds that me and you, we never notice because it happens so fast. Now, there's another type of computer, right? It has multiple processors and it can process multiple threads. That's what the emotional aspect of who we are is. You can go into a situation with your emotions, and your emotions can process all of these different variables at the same time and reflect to you a feeling, an emotion. Have you ever walked into a room and you're like, holy shit, something ain't right here, I don't know what it is? Well, that's your emotions already doing the processing for you, picking up on it and letting you know before your mind even sees it. All your mind sees is like, oh, look, there's donuts. And really what it is it's a mobster drug front, right? When they got mobsters in the back, like the Sopranos or The Wire or whatever, and they're selling drugs out of the back, and your dumbass just walked into the donut shop because you're like, it's Sunday fun day, and I'm gonna try something new, and you didn't know. But then your emotions pipe up and they say, yo, unless you're here to buy crack, get the hell out of here, man. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Well, we want to take that same strength. We want to use those same resources to understand artwork, color, and put all that on our paper. And that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm talking about. And in a nutshell, that's what my teacher told me. That's what he said. Don't do them charts. You can look at them, that's fine. It's like taking a book and reading a book on how to act. You're never going to learn how to act by reading a book. You got to get out there and act. You're never going to learn to do color theory by reading charts. You got to get out there and you got to do the color theory. You have to have the color theory flow through you from your eyeballs down into your emotions and onto your paper or canvas. That's what we're talking about. That's what you got to do. So, what I wanted to share with you is I briefly went over the other day how to set up my palette, and I wanted to show that to you. So we're going to go on down here and take a look at this, okay? Now, check this out. This is my palette right here. Boom. And on this side, I have the greens, and they go darker to lighter. And then this side, I have my blues. Now, over here are some of the green-blue mixture. Now, you don't need all these colors, people, at first. But what these colors like the green-blue save you is time on mixing, okay? And also it saves you because sometimes there's physical limitations of the paint itself that doesn't allow for good mixing of clear color. So you get the ones already pre-made. So these two over here, this one's a dark aqua green, this one's a light aqua green, okay? Now over here I have my darker blues. This goes dark blue. I got a French ultramarine right here, and then I got my cobalt blue right here. And then it goes lighter to my Corellian blue right here, and then lighter even still to my turquoise right here. So I got that right there. Then I got my black right here. Now black is important because without black, you can't achieve really dark values sometimes. Some of these colors, they look like they're dark when you put them on your paper, but then they dry and they dry lighter. And then you lose like 2 or 3 value levels. So you have to add black to it to keep that darkness. Because value is the most important thing in your drawing. Color is secondary, okay? So then over here I have a brown. And this is just, I think it's raw sienna. Could be burnt sienna, but I think it's raw sienna. And then I have a mauve right here, which is a purple. And then right here I have a alizarin crimson. I always say that funny. It's a lizard crimson, but it's alizarin crimson. Lizard crimson. And then over here I have another magenta, which is a dark red. Now I had a red right here, but I moved him right here because he kept getting other stuff into him. And that made me mad. So I moved him right there. I was like, get over there. But this is just a normal rose red, or, you know, just normal scarlet perhaps, but I have a rose red because it's a little bit pink. Now then I have an orange right here, pure orange, then a orange yellow, then a yellow ochre, and then right here I have a lemon yellow. And then this one I have nothing because as you can see the water pools and drains down here and gets in there and gets it all muddy. So I used to have all this shifted down until I kept getting muddy and I got mad about it and moved it up. So sometimes you got to do that, people, okay? Now, you only really need 6 colors at first. So you got your green, you got your blue, you got your red, you got your orange, you got your yellow, and you got your black. That's all you really need at first, okay? And you can mix everything from there, all right? Now, you want to have this layout because you want to have organization to your palette. When you have organization to your palette, you're able just to mix and match the colors without thinking. It's with intuition. Okay? That's what you want. You don't want to have a new setup for your color every time because it requires your mind to try to figure out, oh wait, is that blue? Oh, where am I? You just want to get it to right now. I always know where the hooker's green is. It's down here, right here. I don't even think about it. I just say, oh, I need a darker green, and I reach for it. I don't even think about hooker's green. Or I might say, I need a lighter green. I reach for it. I need a light blue. I reach for it. I need a black, I reach for it. Okay? And that's how you do it intuitively. Now, if you don't have a big, palette like this, plastic palette, go ahead and get yourself a plate and put yourself some stretch light around it on the plate and do it that way. Okay? Now, I wanted to talk about the next thing with color theory. Okay, people? Now, we talked about this Sparth book yesterday. Okay? Structura 3. All right? Now, there's a reason why I brought it out. And a reason why I brought it out at this time. And it's because all of the colors in here are very dominant. What's that mean? That means that they're blocky colors. Okay? Let me find a good example. This is a good example right here. Oh, right here. This one right here. It's a good example. Okay? Majority of this is just a beige color. You have some white, blue, and purple in the background, and then, bam, the red in the foreground. Okay, so he's following that principle, 70%, 75%, 20%, 5% red. All right? Now, the reason why I say to get something like this to look at is because it's going to help you do color theory. Because like I said get out there into the nature. Well, sometimes that's not really, you can't do that. So what you got to do is you got to get somebody else who already understands color theory, like Sparth, from a simplified position, and use him to target your color theory and learn about it. It's like a goal. It's a visual goal. Okay? Like, look at that one. Isn't that one great right there? So he has 75% of its this dark color. He has 25% of it, this orange, and then he has like the 5% is the white. All right? Now, isn't that nice? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I would use Sparth, or you guys can get anybody else that you want, and use him to train myself in the color theory so I can understand. So I can paint like he paints, understand colors like he understands colors, and hopefully grow like he grows. Okay? So, here I am. I'm in the corner now, guys. So, I got this sketchbook right here. All right. Now, I hope you can see that. You can. Great. Now, I just got my square out like this. This is a square, and I laid out 6 panels. Okay, you can see them all right there. I laid out 6 panels. All right. Now, I wanted this to be a high-intensity color study. Okay. High intensity, that doesn't really mean that it's hard or whatever. It just means that we're going to do a lot in a little bit amount of time. Okay. And that's important because we always want to protect our time. Right. We want to get the most bang for our buck out of everything. So I got my tape, okay, right here. I got my tape, and I'm about to lay this out real quick and then show you guys how to experiment with color so that it's not only fun but also productive, okay, because we want it to be productive. So I laid out all 6 of these bad boys. Now notice I'm not wasting time taping out each one of them, right? I'm taping out 3 at a time, okay? We want to scale this out so that we got some serious learning here. Always consider this. Got a little hair in there. Got to get out of there. Okay. Always consider this. If you can do 6 a day, you're going to get 6 times as farther in the same week that that other person only did 1 a day. Okay? So how do we do 6 a day? Well, we have to simplify it, which is important, because that's what we're trying to do anyways. We're trying to simplify our understanding, okay? So we want to simplify it, and we want to make it smaller, because we're going to learn the same lessons no matter what. If it's big or if it's small, it's going to have the same lessons in it, okay? So go ahead and simplify your work, make it smaller, and get more done. Now, on Sunday Fun Day, you can always go ahead and make the biggest one possible you want to. And one of these days, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you guys how I take the big watercolor paper and just go wild on it. But you'll only get frustrated if you don't learn the lessons on the small stage before you get to the big stage. And then when you get to the big stage, now you're talking about each piece of paper is like $20, and you just spent like half your paint, so you got to buy new paint. And now you're all mad because all you did was you were trying to paint a beautiful landscape and you ended up painting a big piece of poop. And ain't nobody gonna buy no poop from you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna come up and be excited about that. So we wanna go ahead and minimize our investment and our risk, right? Now the other thing that I wanted to tell you is that when we're doing these exercises and we're in the lab here and we're doing these fun experiments, you only want to change one variable at a time. All right, people? Don't go trying to change like 4 variables at one time, because it's going to get unruly and you're not going to be able to handle it. And then when something is a success, you're not going to know why, because it could be one of any of the 4 variables. So you want to have test one variable at a time, okay? And go from there. Now, we got our boxes laid out like this, and we're good to go, okay? So now I'm gonna grab my spray bottle. We're gonna wake up our watercolors. Say, hey, wake up, guys. Wake up, wake up. Sometimes you gotta yell at them, because today's Saturday, and they don't wanna work. They wanna sleep in, okay? I got my toilet paper too, all right? I might use that, I don't know. We're gonna wake these bad boys up. Wake up the middle too. And go ahead and maybe we'll do this page right here. It's grays, a little bit of purple, a little bit of blue. Okay, so can you see that? It's gray with some white, a little bit of purple in here, a little bit of blue in there. Okay, so we'll look at that as our first target for our first square right here. Up here, our first square. Okay, so what you want to do is you go ahead and wake up your 2 brushes. I'm using the medium and the large brush. Okay, round brushes. All right, so we're looking at that. I'm seeing gray, dark gray. So let's go ahead and grab some dark gray. I'm gonna take my black, gonna mix it into this blue right here. Can you see that? All right, you can see that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go like this for maybe 75%. Remember, we're going 75%, 20%, 5%. Okay? We'll go on ahead and take our medium brush and mix up some blue. Okay? Now, run it right along that edge so you get that wet on wet effect. Okay, people? See how I did that right there? And I'm just letting them kind of run down into them. Okay? Now, he does have white at the top there, but I'm going to take a little bit of purple because he has a little bit of purple too. And I'm going to go ahead and make a intuitive choice to change it. And I'm just going to put that purple right there like a line like that. Okay? Then I'm going to let it dry. Now see, I almost put this brush in my coffee cup just now. I don't know if you saw that, but I almost put them in there. But I saw that I had my straw right there. Let's go, Jared. Let's go. Hell yeah. I had my straw right there, and it saved me from putting that in my coffee and then drinking that later. That would have been terrible. I'm just trying to save some people some sadness. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. Now, back to our guy right here. I'm looking at him. I'm saying, okay, that looks good. I see the blending right there, the blending right there. But, you know, this gray isn't like the gray in the picture. It needs to be a whole hell of a lot darker. So I'm going to come down here with my medium brush and load up on that black. Okay? Can you see that right there? Okay, I didn't see that. Right. And then I'm just going to go boom, boom. Look at that. That's some heavy black right there. Okay? And that's all we're going to do. That's all you got to do. That's it right there. Then you got to let that guy dry. We're going to see what that looks like. Now, even if you want to, you can come up to the red, or the purple rather, and go ahead and soften that edge up. I just got the brush wet, came up here, soften the edge up, okay? And have that become a nice gradient to fade to that white. And basically, these are the colors that we see in this page right here. A little bit of purple, a little bit of blue. The purple's right here and in here. This is the dark black, a little bit of blue right there. Okay? And we kind of just copied that right there. And we're understanding how those colors work together. And when we understand how they work together, we understand that if I put that blue right there, it's going to make that purple when I combine it with that red. And I'm going to look and see how that black is going into that blue. And I'm going to like say, oh, I like that. That feels nice to me. That's a nice color. And see all the different variations and colors? That's what I meant when I said, hey, the watercolor works along with you. It helps you paint, okay? So now, let's look for another one. Now I'm gonna flip through here. And now I'm looking at this one. This one's kind of fun. He's got a big dark area. Could be a dark purple right here. And then he's got a nice orange area right here. And then he's got kind of a reddish purple area up here, with some whites and some grays up here. So we're just going to pick 3 of those colors, the 3 biggest colors, and we're going to make them flat, okay? Now, what I mean when I say flat is, of course, we're looking at the orange right here, and we're seeing that, look, he's got all kinds of oranges in there. Well, we're just going to make it one color of orange and let the watercolor do the work and make it other variations. Look at this black. He's got all kinds of black in there. Well, we're just going to make it one tone of black, one color of black, and let the watercolor do the rest. We're going to simplify it. We're only going to try to make 3 colors, and we're going to allow the watercolor to do the blending when it kind of soaks into each other, when it seeps across, you know. We're going to let that happen, and it's going to be a lot easier on us, because we're not going to have to worry about it, like, oh, I got to adjust this and adjust that. We're just going to put down one color and go with it. Okay, so now I'm going to go for the, first I'm going to grab my big brush again. I'm going to get that black. Going to get that black. Going to add just a tad bit of the red, alizarin crimson. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call that the dark area. So I'm going to put that, ooh, that looks nice, doesn't it? Put that in there, okay? That's 75% of it, all right, people? Now I'm looking at the orange. I'm like, okay, I need some orange. So I'm just going to load up on the biggest orange that I can get, the most pure orange I can get, just like that. Okay, don't know if you saw that. I just loaded it up straight from the pan right there. And we're going to run it along the edge of the other wash I just put down. Boom. Look at that. Okay. Now watch. Because it's on an angle, the gravity is going to pull this water down into that red. And it's going to mix. Okay. And it's going to make a nice gradient and a nice variation of color. Now I want to do that pink on top. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of this pink, maybe mix just a tad bit of blue into it, but hey, no big deal. Just grab a little bit of that pink, put it on top. Okay, and then the pink fades into a white. So we can just go ahead and take that white, pull them out into the white paper there, and have it become a nice gradation right there like that. All right, so that's our first layer. But now I'm looking and I'm saying, you know what? Since I put all this down right here, this doesn't look as dark as this dark in the book, right? We got the orange on there, no problem. We got some of that pink at the top, no problem. And we got the pink that goes into the white, no problem. But I need this dark. How do I get, well, I need to get another layer of dark, okay? So this guy's pretty much already dry. We're going to take our medium brush again, and we're going to dive into this black. This is where the black comes in, because in order to get it dark, you need the black. We're going to take the black, going to mix it into the magenta, and we're just going to come in and lay it over the top like so. Okay? Now, notice we have a hard edge right here, right? Maybe we don't like that hard edge. Maybe we do like it. I don't know. At this point, it could be a rock, but maybe we want to soften up some pieces of that hard edge so it doesn't look like so cut out. Just get your brush clean, get it a little bit of water in it, dab it on your napkin, get some water, boom, dab it on your napkin just to get it a little bit drier so it's not gonna, you know, drown your paints, and just run it over one part of it, and then another part, and then another part. Leave some of it though hard. Okay, so now you see it's starting to diffuse out right there. Can you see that right there? Now it's starting to diffuse out, like right there, right there. It's still a hard edge right here, and it's a soft edge right there. Okay, so now, bam, we're done, right? So now we kind of understand how those colors go together, okay? And later on, if I want to paint something and I want to use these colors, I can come back and take a look at it and say, what was that? Oh yeah, the orange, the red, the magenta, the black. And you might think right now I don't know, Ray. How do you remember all the colors? Oh, don't worry. You'll remember them. Okay? Right now, you might not remember them, but after you do this for a week, you'll remember them. Don't worry about it. Okay? If the more you stress about it, the less you'll remember. So just say, you know what? I'm going to let my emotions take care of that. They'll remember it. And I'll just ask my emotions. And then say, when you're painting, say, emotions. I swear to God, like this in your mind. Emotions? What color was that? And it'll answer. I swear to God, it'll answer you. I know it sounds woo-woo. Woo-woo. It's not. It's real deal. Okay? It's called trusting your observation. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Your mind up here and your emotions memorize everything. Like a recorder for your entire life. All right? They record everything. You just have to learn how to tap into it. You know, serious, point blank. All right, let's grab one more, and I'll show you guys one more. Oh, that one looks pretty cool. All right, look at this one. Now, we got some darkness. We got a big part of yellow, and we got blue-purple. And there's a little bit of red-purple in there, too. But we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to pick 3 colors. We're going to pick this dark color, this yellow color, and this purple color, and we're going to mix them in that proportion of 75-25. Okay, so I'm going to go with this square right here. We're going to get our big brush, come up here, get it wet, and that's going to be the dark part. So we're going to go, that's a little bit of a dark orange. We're just going to mix it like that. Get some of that black going. I'm saying, hey, it needs to be darker. Okay, let's make it darker. Grab some of that black. And you can either mix it or apply it directly on top. Now, don't swish around too much like this because you're going to destroy the paint wash underneath it. Unless you intend to do that. Unless you intend to destroy it. But you have to be very light and gentle on your paper. Okay? Because the washes are very light and gentle. And once you kind of get calibrated to move softly, it all becomes much easier. Okay, so now I'm thinking, ooh, that yellow looks awesome. Let's grab some of that yellow. So I'm just going to come up here and grab some of this yellow. All right, and I'm going to get a little bit wet because I'm anticipating it mixing with the black. And I'm going to come here and be like, boom, look at that. Now, I could keep going, but I'm just going to mix up dirty paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to grab this yellow again, a fresh load of yellow, because I want it to be yellow. And I'm going to come in and put it on top like that. I'm going to grab some more. I'm going to put it on top like that. Okay? Now, if you just keep mixing it back and forth, you're just going to get a mess. So don't do that. Put it down. Clean your brush off. Grab the yellow. Come back. Put it down. See how it's already starting to mix right there? Starting to get some action. Now, if you want it to get more action, you can always just pull it up like this. Pull it up into it. Okay? Now, all of that's going to diffuse. It might look harsh right now, but watch. As time goes on and it dries, it's going to diffuse out. Now, we need some of that magenta, so I'm just going to grab some of this magenta right here. And it's a little bit more of a blue magenta, so I'm going to make it blue. Put some blue into it. No big deal. And we're going to put that right on top right here. Like so. Okay, now you can already see how it's starting to mix along that line right there. Okay? The only thing that I would say to do now is to make this a little bit darker down here in this corner right here. So let me go up here and grab some of this black. Hey Black, how you doing? He's doing good. He's ready to work. Go ahead and lay some of that black on there like that. Okay? And remember, it's okay to be a little bit sloppy. You want to be a little bit sloppy because that's going to make it seem more lifelike. Don't try to make the square perfect. Don't try to make your little paint wash 100% saturated. Leave some variability in there, okay? Because that allows the imagination and the life to spring up. That provides a little bit of platform for different colors to come together and to be happy, okay? So do it like that. All right, now I want you to go out there, lay out 6 of these bad boys or however many you want, and just go to town. You could knock this out in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and what I want you to do is to do 6 of them or 8 of them. and just put the washes down and try to get clean washes that blend together nicely. Okay, now this is going to teach you brush control and color theory, okay, as well as pigment control. Okay, and then what I want you to do after they're dry, slowly remove the tape, and you'll see that you have 6 beautiful swatches with 6 color theories that you just had in a color experiment with, and they were all a success. Okay, you learned something. You just learned color theory, people. All right, and we're going to practice this over and over until it becomes intuitive. And then you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's like riding a bike, no problem. We're out there having fun. I don't have to get out my chart when I'm out painting the trees. I just feel it and go with it, be in the zone, because that's what it's all about. Let's get in the zone, people. Let's get out there. Let's do it.